Welcome, welcome, welcome to my place. I'm so glad to see you face to face. Caring, sharing, happiness and grace. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my place. Welcome, friends. Remember me? I'm Miss Suzy. I was wondering when I'd see you again, and here you are. It's so good to talk to you. We have great fun together, don't we? Sometimes we laugh and play games, and sometimes we talk about important things. I bet you're good at pretending, aren't you? Sometimes it's fun to use our imaginations and pretend, like we do at Halloween. What's your costume going to be this year? Something from Bluey, or DC Superhero Girls, or Paw Patrol, or Carmen Sandiego, or maybe a witch, or a construction worker,
Hiya.
or a robot.
Beep bop boop bop beep.
Sometimes we wear makeup or masks, or we even talk in a different voice when we pretend.
This is my voice when I pretend I am a robot.
Now that you're big, you understand the difference between pretend and real. There's a time for pretending, and there's a time to tell the truth. When you say what's real, that means you're telling the truth. And telling the truth, being honest, that means people can trust you. That's important. Trust means you're showing your parents, your teachers, your friends, your family, that they can believe what you say. It's also important for us to tell ourselves the truth. Sometimes we tell fibs because we don't want to get in trouble, don't we? But then afterward you feel icky inside. Your stomach feels funny and you just can't stop thinking about it. Everyone makes mistakes and tells a fib once in a while. But after you think it over, it's important to go back and tell the truth. And that will make you feel better. Knowing you're telling the truth on the inside and the outside will help you grow and give you confidence. Here's a story about a girl who told the truth, and it did give her lots of confidence. Her name is Lian, and it takes place in a country called China. Lian was only 8 years old, but she was famous in her village for her skill with plants. Under her care, flowers and vegetables grew strong and healthy. When she wasn't in school or helping her parents, Lian was tending to plants. Sometimes she was in her garden, but she was often in the other village gardens helping to make sure the flowers were abundant and the vegetables were plentiful. Lian had heard stories of the most famous gardens in the land, the imperial gardens at the emperor's palace, but she never expected to see them. Now she was amazed to find herself traveling in a fine royal coach with many others on her way to see the emperor's gardens. The emperor had asked that the best gardener from each village come to the palace and tour the large and beautiful royal gardens. Lian was one of hundreds chosen to make the journey, and she was the youngest of them all. Once they had toured all the gardens within the palace walls, everyone gathered in the courtyard to be greeted by the emperor. Lian's head was full of the incredible sights she had seen. Flowers of every color and shape, vegetable gardens, and fruit orchards filled with such variety that it would take years to study them all, and healing plants and herbs that were used to treat diseases she had never heard of. She was so busy with her thoughts, she almost missed what the emperor had to say.
The Grand Royal Gardener, who is also my good friend,
wants to train an apprentice who will someday take on his duties of overseeing the care of all the imperial gardens. Therefore, there will be a contest to see who can grow the healthiest and most beautiful plant from the seed you are given. You must all return to the palace in 6 months with your plant, and a decision will be made. This is more than a test of gardening skill. It is an opportunity of a lifetime. Remember that." The emperor then turned and left the courtyard. When Liane returned home with the seed she had been given, she carefully planted it in a big pot with her best soil and put it in the center of her garden. For the next 6 months, she tended to that pot with more attention and care than she had ever given any plant. She checked the pot every morning and every evening, looking closely for any little sprout coming out of the dark earth. She moved the pot into the sun, hoping that would help. Then she thought it might need to be cooler, so she moved it into the shade. She watered it and encouraged it to grow in a soft, gentle voice. But her efforts were in vain. The seed never grew. When it came time to return to the palace, Liane's pot was empty. Her parents said, "You did the best you could. We know it is difficult, but you must go back, even if you don't have anything to show." Liane thought of all the other gardeners showing their beautiful plants to the emperor, and she thought of her empty pot. It was an awful thought. Her cousin said, "Liane, no one will know if you take another plant. You have grown many plants from seeds. Show the emperor one of those. It won't really be a lie." Her friends at school said, "You can't show the emperor an empty pot. It will be a disgrace for the whole village. It won't hurt anyone if you take another plant. You are a very good gardener. That's the truth." Liane had to decide what to do. When all the other gardeners gathered in the imperial courtyard once again, Liane could see hundreds of pots all around her, each one holding a beautiful, healthy plant. The pot in front of Liane held only dirt. The emperor and the grand royal gardener walked among all the pots. They were silent as they inspected the variety of lush greenery. When they came to Liane, they paused. The emperor looked at the grand royal gardener, and he looked back at the emperor. Then the gardener picked up Liane's pot, and the emperor beckoned Liane to follow him to the center of the courtyard. Liane followed, her heart beating fast. What would the emperor do to her in front of all these people? She was stunned to hear him address the crowd, saying, "Behold, the new apprentice has been chosen. All of you are excellent gardeners, that is clear. But the plants here were not the result of the seeds I gave you. The seeds you were given were baked in an oven and could not grow. I knew you all had great skill, but the royal gardener must first be someone I can trust." Liane felt shy as everyone stared at her and the empty pot. She smiled, though, as she thought of all the flowers and fruit she would grow in the royal gardens to share with all. Wow! Can you imagine how Liane felt? She was so afraid of looking foolish in front of the other gardeners with her empty pot. But she did it anyway. Have you ever been tempted to tell a fib because you didn't want to feel foolish? Well, I'm so proud of you that even if you told a fib at first, you found a way to tell the truth. As you think about being truthful, remember these words. My heart holds the truth. My voice speaks the truth. My life shares the truth. Let's try it in sign language. My heart holds the truth. My voice speaks the truth. My life shares the truth. My heart holds the truth. My voice speaks the truth. My life shares the truth. That's all we have time for today. Remember, have a wonderful day, a wonderful day. Whether you stay inside or you go out and play, I will be back to see you, my friends. So be kind, be patient, be loving until we meet again. Bye-bye.